Our guest today, Ian Smith, has developed an accessory that could revolutionize the barbecue industry in ways that we've never envisioned. He's developed and patented a way to customize the experience of barbecuing, leading to pride in cooking. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Business Success Weekly. You know, Bill, in most families, the backyard cooking is done to perfection by someone who really cares about their guests. Imagine presenting a customized steak or hamburger with the person in mind, who is actually eating the gourmet meal. Now let's meet this individual, no pun intended of course, who developed and now intends to market this business to the multi-million-dollar levels. Ian, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, explain to me exactly what you have developed.
Well, I developed a branding iron, and there are branding irons out there in the marketplace that simply brand letters on a steak or a hamburger. But what I've done is I've reversed the process where the grill itself becomes the branding iron.
Wow.
So therefore I can expand it to larger names other than 3 letters, your initials, or W for well, or I can put Alexander on a steak. And what it, like you said, what it does is it really thrills the receivee of the meat or the steak, in that they realize it was custom made for them. So it kind of brings back some fun in the barbecuing in the backyard.
It's like the old Western ways, huh? Just brand your steak and there you go.
Right.
Wow.
It is like the old Western ways, except that it's in the backyard, and of course in reverse you can put more than just simply a name. You can even put other items, and we'll get into that later. But there are some expansion items that you can do on the barbecue with the meat.
That is amazing, and this is it could be for anything like birthday parties, for your grandchildren. I mean, name it.
Grandchildren's a big one. If you're a grandparent and you're serving up a hamburger or even a hamburger bun to your grandchildren, and you saw their name on it, Fred or Joe, or even your anniversary. If you put your anniversary is January 9th, it would be 1-9 on the bun or on the steak. So as you can see, you can expand it to more than just a name. You can even put a heart on there if you wanted on your barbecue.
That's amazing. And anniversary, your wife would really love you because you remembered. Great. That's just amazing to know that that's out there. Now, how did you come up with this idea exactly?
Well, I was in a hospital for 2 months. Yeah, I was a long time, but I had a heart transplant.
Ouch.
which was a long time and a life-altering experience because I came close to death. And I was sitting in the bed for a long time, and I looked up at this commercial, and it was a grill, and with the name of the company on the grill, and the steak going down on the grill. And I thought, that's not going to work, because when you pick that steak up, it's going to be backwards. So what I've done is I developed the letters in reverse. They can't be forward. So one of the problems is thinking out backwards. So if you think of yourself as the coals looking up through the grill, you're the branding iron, and the meat's coming down to the grill. So it's a reverse process. But in patenting, it was quite a job. But you can see it may revolutionize, but it's going to customize and bring a lot of fun, I think, to the backyard.
That's definitely different.
And is it similar to the old-fashioned cattle branding?
It is, in that in cattle branding, you are protecting your cattle. Mm-hmm. You are also identifying your cattle. Yeah. And that's in effect what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You're identifying for the person that's receiving the meat. You're identifying that this was made for them. So a lot of times when you're out and you're making a steak in the backyard and it just goes to the plate, you don't think, oh, this is made especially for me. Or if you simply had the word Dad on the steak, everybody who receives the steak or the hamburger, it says Dad on it.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that there are similar types of products on the market. How does yours differ from theirs?
Good question. How it differs is that what I've done is I've integrated what a grill is made out of, which is cast iron, and the best barbecuing is in cast iron. And the more modern barbecues don't necessarily have cast iron, but they have spaces between them.
Sure.
So what I've developed is the letters that use the concept of conductivity to go down towards the coals or towards the heat, and the heat travels up to the letters. So in effect, the letters are hotter than the grill is hot.
Oh, wow.
And to make them dishwasher accessible or and able to be washed in the dishwasher, I nickel plated them. So they're shiny, they're clean, but in a barbecue they don't stay that way.
Sure.
But what ends up happening is you can just leave the letters there on your grill if you wanted to, year round.
Nice.
And or pick them up and put them away. Of course, don't pick them up when they're hot.
Sure.
But you can simply store them away. So how it differs from what's on the marketplace now, when you have a branding iron with a handle, you have to lift your grill off, put the branding iron down in the heat, and wait. And on the other side of your barbecue is your meat waiting to be branded. This, you don't have to do that at all. It just sits there getting hot as the container, the barbecue is getting hot, the grill's getting hot, the letters are getting hotter, and they're waiting to be branded. So there's some simple techniques, of course, in branding it, where in a hamburger, what we have a tendency to do is flip the burger over a whole bunch of times. Mm-hmm. The best way to cook a hamburger is just keep it on one side and flip it over. And when you flip it over, it's 3/4 done, you brand it, it sizzles, you can hear it branding it, and it simply finishes its cooking job on the one side. So it's ready to go. And when you pick it up, there's the name.
Exactly,
Wow,
and it's not
that's
a concern as far as, well, if I flip the meat several times, that's going to have the letters are going to be distorted, everything's going to be all over the place. In this case, the best way to cook, and most chefs already know this, is to actually leave the meat on one side, and then you flip it and leave it on that side for a while, and then you're done. So technically then, the material is made out of cast iron with nickel plating. Is that what we heard?
Yes.
Okay, and it's pretty. It's not hard to clean at all. You can actually throw it in the dishwasher or just scrape and scrub it clean on the grill itself.
Yes.
Now, will that, as far as the material used to scrape and scrub, will that actually damage the material?
Not at all.
Oh, wow.
In effect, you're saying, will the nickel be rubbed off? No, it won't come off at all. But like on your grill at home, what we end up doing is scraping it afterwards, or we scrape it the next time we use it. We heat it up and then scrape it. So either way, it doesn't matter. And there's really no germs in a barbecue in that, sure, if the meat's sitting around and spots of it around the barbecue for a week, there's going to be some germs in there. But when you reheat it and it's going to 400 to 500 degrees, there's no bacteria growing in there, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. And the same way on the letters, just scraping the meat off it and
because
ready to go.
I'm more of the lazy type where I just, once I use a barbecue, it's done. I don't even think of cleaning.
Because you're eating, yeah.
Exactly, because then I forget about it. You let it sit there, and so you grab the brush, and next time you're like, okay, it's time for another
You
barbecue.
clean it before you use it, not after you finish
No,
it.
yeah.
The next time, yeah.
That's good to know. Like for all the lazy people like myself, it's good to know this fact. So that's great. Yeah.
So as far as the size of the letters and how many letters you can put on there, can you put a long word, or are you limited to the number of letters that you can use?
You're not limited to the amount of letters that you can use. In fact, you could put the Constitution of the United States theoretically on your grill, and then but it wouldn't fit on the meat. It would not fit on the steak, of course. On a flank steak, which is longer, you can put a longer name, like the whole name of Alexander, or many American names. In the English world, let's put it that way, Australia and England and United States, Canada, you could shorten the name. Alexander, Alex. John, John. You can use all 4 letters on a hamburger. Oh. So there's lots of names that can be shortened, but there's some that cannot.
Sure.
And like my son's name is Landon, and I put that on a steak, Landon, and it fit easily on a steak.
6 letters.
Do you have different sizes that you sell or manufacture?
Right now it's one size, but the next prototype that I'm making will be smaller letters, so we'll be able to even put more letters on it.
Oh, that's good to know. Wow.
Very nice. And then how would somebody order names?
Well, the name of my company is brandbyname.com, and with the advent of the internet and ordering online, this is